Alright, well, this is Heartwood Pine, and it's a tree that was cut down in 1906. Because this wood's so old, I don't do all the traditional ways of making these bucket staves. Typically, you'd use a froe and a mallet to shape these out of a block of wood to get them down to something like this, really kind of rough. But this is a piece of wood that kind of got burned on the side there in a warehouse fire. But stuff's so old, I'm just not going to take the chance of screwing any of it up any more than I have to. With a froe, you have a lot of control, but you don't have perfect control over wood that is this old and is dried out like this. It's liable to split almost anyway, and wood this old, you just don't want to take a chance of ruining. So I use a table saw to cut these out, get the taper and the bevel, and then that's the last power tool that'll touch this wood. From now on, I'll use all the hand tools. I'm going to shape the inside of the stave first with this. It's kind of called a scorp or a hollowing out draw knife. Do the inside. Then I'll just take a regular draw knife and do the outside. It's a little attachment here that I have on my shaving horse so that I can put this piece of wood in here, and I can have access to the full length of it versus having the claw come down and grabbing this thing and doing some work here, taking it out, turn around and doing it again. This way I have the full length to work with. So what I do is Heartwood Pine. This stuff is hard. I mean, it's almost as hard as oak. And the neat thing about this, when I get going here in just a minute or so, it's going to smell just like somebody had opened up and poured a bottle of Pine Sol all over everything. It has a very distinct, strong, pleasant aroma to it. This heartwood here, where the bands are really fat. Let me see here. Yeah, if you can see the annual rings are really fat here. And some people call that lighter knot, fat wood. But as I start taking a draw knife across it and put pressure on it, sometimes actual oil will roll right up to the surface. It's kind of neat. I mean, you can work with this stuff and oil my tools at the same time. So, well, here we go. Let's start the fight, because this stuff is hard. I had this been just a regular piece of wood, I'd have taken out as hard as I'm bearing down on it, I'd taken out a real big old chunk out of that thing, but all I'm able to get is just these really fine shavings.